I know that out there, a lot of people will tell you not to touch the N20, or if you want to start modifying your N20, you have to go just sell it and go buy another car. One side, they are right. On the other side, no one is wrong. And I'm going to lean on the side of no one is wrong. Here is why. This is my philosophy, what I think when it comes to touching the BMW N20 specifically. The myth that goes around there is because you get nothing out of the money that you are going to spend. It's yes and no, okay? I built and attached the N20. This is just because it was something that I had with me. If I had a 350Z, for example, I would have built on that one. If I had a Toyota Corolla, I would have built it that one. If I had a Mazda, I would have built on Mazda. It just happened that I had a N20, and it's literally opened up broad opportunities for me, and that's where I started. And there is nothing wrong for you building the N20. Let's just be clear. There is nothing wrong you touching your N20 and do whatever you want to do. So let's talk about everything everyone would want to do about the N20. The N20 is a great platform, and there are still almost over 5 million N20s out there, which are still on the road and will still remain on the road for a very long time. And for anyone who wants to get into a BMW platform, you will find yourself owning a 228i, 428i, or sometimes people will go with 535 or 335, which is the N55. But we're not talking about the N55 today. If you want to know about N55, come back another day and we're going to talk about it. I won't go too deep into the technical stuff of N20 or the difference between N20 and N55 and what's on it, and also all the deep technical information about N20 today. It's literally just any kid out there or someone out there, they just want to get the best out of the N20. So there are multiple ways you want to approach building your N20. All right, so let's talk about the conservative way of building the N20. And that is, you get your downpipe, you get your intercooler, and you get your hot air intake, because I don't believe in that. Your hot air intake is just something that will help you to gain a better sound from your turbo, period. Because the way it is placed on our engine and the way all the aftermarket parts for the intake, they literally just suck in air from the engine bay, and that is the hot air. If you really want to get the best out of it, you need to redesign the intake piping, and it has to go all the way into a proper location for it to suck cold air. So the intake, personally, I am not a believer on that. I only love it because it looks cool and you have better sound. But the best mode that you go for when you are on the starting point, I always tell people, if you want to start building your N20, forget about anything else. If you have a manual transmission N20, the thing I will ask you to start is a short shifter. The short shifter on our cars the shifter on our cars are really bad. And I like the short shifter, wherever you get, whether you get the one that I install, I will leave the link in the description, or you get the Tuner Motorsport ones. It's up to you, whichever you choose. Just go for the short shifter. The next thing that you are going to do is the tune. Just get the tune, and the only available tune right now beside a custom tune is boot mode 3. I personally haven't seen something that is proven to be a good tune for BMW N20. Unfortunately, there aren't a lot of people supporting that, so you may want to rethink at that point. That's where I say it's 50-50 for people who support to build the N20 and people who don't support build the N20, but you can still get the best out of N20. You do your short shifter if you have a manual transmission, and if you don't have a manual transmission, go directly do your stage 1. So why you don't need anything else over stage 1? Because I have been there, and the instant gratification you get on the tune, it will be the best starting point when you want to tune your car. And I am not talking about crazy numbers. I'm not going about reaching out the horsepower goals. Here I'm just telling you the best you can get on the money that you spend. I don't know how much horsepower you are going to get, but at least when you do a boot mode 3 stage 1, you'll feel a huge improvement on your throttle response. Everything just becomes smoother. Even if you are on normal mode or you are on sport mode, you will really feel the car responds better. You have a better throttle response. Everything just breathes better. Another thing that I personally don't have a belief on that is the downpipe. I just think that it's a waste of money because it's really just creates a chaos on your car. There is a video that I released and I don't recommend anyone to do a downpipe, which is your removing your catalytic converter. You could potentially go for a high flow catalytic converter. That is a good way of doing it, but something that is directly straight pipe, it's not something I am going to recommend. A high flow catalytic converter is the best way to go. Otherwise, just leave it. Now, if you still want to go crazy with your build, but you want to reserve your internal components, and when I talk about internal components, I'm saying that you don't want to open your engine and stuff like that. Things you want to do, usually people say you have to upgrade your intercooler and also your charge pipe. The charge pipe, it's also debatable. Reason I'm saying charge pipe is debatable is because think of it this way. You have been driving your car. Tell me in the comments, when did your charge pipe cracked? Tell me in the comment, your car specifically. You know how you drive, you know your ability, how you drive your car. Tell me, when did it crack? Now, if it did, at what mileage did it give up? The moment it gave up is because of the longevity of the charge pipe. I kid you not, probably it's happened at, let's just say, 60,000 miles. I'm going very conservative, 60,000 miles, because I reached 100,000 miles and that had never happened to me. And this is me and what I've learned. I've seen a lot of people, they will recommend you something different, but for me, I've noticed that the charge pipe has nothing to do with everything else. Yes, it cracks, but you can always replace it with OEM because it's just the longevity of the part. Yes, you can go get a metallic charge pipe. I don't have a problem with it. People get into a fitment issues with that. So think of it this way. Your charge pipe, your OEM charge pipe has lasted you 50,000 miles. Your car right now, probably it's already 100,000 miles or 120,000 miles. Now you add another, let's say 60,000 miles, 120 plus 60,000 miles, that you're looking at somewhere around what? 200,000 miles. I kid you not, you won't even keep your car over 200,000 miles. That's the truth. Now, when it cracks, it's 20 bucks or 30 bucks. You get a brand new one, you change it, you go by your day. You want to get a metallic one? Yeah, go ahead and get it. Personally, I got a metallic one because I added a methanol injection on my system, and I didn't have enough tools to have a secure connection on the metallic on the plastic part, and that is why I went on a metallic part, because it's just easier. The thread is already there, and you just go ahead and replace it right away. We talk about the tune. That should be your first one to get a tune, enjoy your car. Probably when you get stage 1, you're good. You don't need anything else, and probably you just have to play on your cosmetic stuff, get your wheels, get your stuff like that. Now if you still want to push further, you want to go crazy with that, you can push your car all the way to a certain amount of horsepower, which is somewhere not more than 400 horsepower, with your internal components. Now, there are so many things I've learned on building the car, and probably I will be releasing a lot of video. So think of it, this series like a lot of things that I've learned building the N20, and I will be sharing a lot of things. I may be missing a lot of stuff, but I will encourage you to go ahead and subscribe and turn off the notifications, because every time I release this video about this series, we're talking about the N20, probably you understand the best thing that you can do to build your N20 and get the best out of your N20. So we talk about the tune, we talk about the charge pipe, we talk about the intercooler. On my current setup, I didn't have an issue with cooling my air. The air temperature has been very consistent, stable, and probably maybe because I have this sport bumper. The sport M bumper does help on two things. The cooling system, it's kind of exposed, and you also have a better looking sport front bumper, so which is cool. But what I was saying is that if you get a bigger intercooler so that you can have more air to flow in your system, and out of that you also have your charge pipe just in case. And another item that you want to think of after you did the tune is the inlet pipe. Now, I am going to stress about the inlet pipe more rather than the charge pipe, because out of the sudden, at one point, my inlet pipe just gave up and I had a crack. I have a video in the description for you to look it up. The reason I am stressing about the inlet pipe is because at the turbo, that where there is quite a lot of heat going there, and also it is exposed by the oil. The turbo inlet is something I would advise you to look at, because mine cracked. It's cracked at around, I don't know, that was probably like 80,000 miles. That's where it's cracked. If you still want to be fancy with your modification, you do the charge pipe. It's up to you. I always tell people, keep it OEM. You can always go back to it. If it's cracked, just buy another OEM part. You'll be good, because it's the longevity of it. Give it another 100,000 miles and then it will crack. You'll be fine. Honestly, you'll be fine. But if you want to spend money, just go get the Chinese one. They are usually 120, 150. If you have the money, go buy it and get the charge pipe. But you don't need to spend too much money on that. So those are the things you want to look at if you want to start modifying your N20. You don't need to go too crazy. Those are very safe place to be. But if you now want to level up a little bit, that's where you really want to be very cautious about things you are doing, and that comes with the custom tune. A custom tune, it's something that you are going to work with a tuner, and that tuner will then start working with you and then getting you to a safer place. I've worked with quite a few people, and I've learned a lot of things. So leave in the comments if you have any question that I didn't answer while I am giving you this information. There are a lot of tuners out there, but unfortunately not every tuner can tune the N20. The N20 is so delicate to the point that the moment you start touching it, just be ready on things breaking. Be ready on getting something that will tell you drivetrain malfunctioning. Once you get it, don't panic, because you already touched it, you already did whatever you did, and you have gotten to a point where you now, anything can happen. It just went. That's the one thing I need to tell you. N20 are so delicate. Regardless what you are going to do, I'm sorry to break it to you, things will just start going south at one point or another. It's just N20, just the way it's designed. Just be ready your car to be stranded on the road. Be ready to call your tow rig to come tow you, because those are things that just happen. And with that, it's really a good way to have a companion. I have this Wi-Fi dongle, but I have a better one, not this one, and I think it's still on the car. This will become your friend. And I do want to emphasize quite a bit that you will be using two of those, whether you get you scan using boot mode 3 software, or you use another software tool, which is the Pro Tool. Pro Tool is a good software that will scan pretty much all your modules. The boot mode 3 app only scans anything related to boot mode 3, which is the ECU and the engine management. This tool, always have it handy with you, because like it or not, you will just find yourself, hey, car malfunctioning, and when you want to ask for help, always start by scanning the car. You can start with the boot mode 3 app or use a Pro Tool. The reason I'm saying Pro Tool, because Pro Tool is very robust application that will give you pretty much everything. It reads all the modules, and you get the proper diagnostic codes, and those diagnostic codes are the ones you are going to seek for help. Okay, there is just so many things I want to do, but today I wanted to cover this topic, specifically stage 1, and next we're going to talk about stage 2 and beyond. So stay tuned on that. I hope you learned something. There is just so much I want to cover, but I hope this one really will get you with the N20. And later on, we're going to talk about the maintenance of N20, how to keep it reliable after tuning it, and how you can avoid having the malfunctioning stuff. So I hope this was informative, and I'll catch you on the next one, and go and enjoy your car.